Hey everyone, it's me Triton, and in today's video I'm going to talk about when I think we'll finally get the updated player progression system. Many players are expecting it in the 1.3 client patch, which should drop no later than next Tuesday if EA follows their 4-week schedule. However, given that the 1.2 client patch came 1 week after the 4-week client patch cycle, I'm going to be a little pessimistic here and estimate that we won't get the 1.3 client patch until Tuesday, March 27th, as opposed to the 20th. Now, I don't think any delays falls on the shoulders of the developers, as Dennis Bronval tweeted last week that the team was putting the finishing touches on the patch. If there is a delay, it's likely the time it takes Sony and Microsoft to approve the patch before it can be deployed. Along those same lines, that's also why communication isn't as frequent as many players would like. Lucasfilms and Disney need to sign off on all communication, and Sledgehammer70 recently replied on Twitter that since EA is a publicly traded company, there are some rules that prevent the development team from issuing too much information past the current quarter that we're in. So when you factor both of those things in, that is why I think there will be at least a 1-week delay before the 1.3 client patch officially drops, and we likely won't hear much about it until it finally does. But circling back to the player progression update, here are some of my thoughts as to what it will likely change. First and foremost, the progression system is definitely going to ease the overall grind. This includes the grind from one level to another, the grind for credits and crafting parts, and perhaps the grind to complete certain milestones. While I am not sure if they'll raise the level cap beyond 50, although that would be nice, I do think the experience required to move from one level to another will generally be lowered. Currently, once you reach level 25, I believe, the required XP to level up is 250,000. I imagine it will come down to around 200,000, which is what it takes per level prior to reaching level 25. We still aren't sure how credits and crafting parts will work post the update, and many players are waiting to hear from EA as to whether or not they should spend them all now or save them. I definitely don't think they can get away with scrapping the whole system, but they'll likely make it easier to obtain them, and perhaps they'll lower the required amount of crafting parts to unlock the epic level star cards. They could also rework them so that credits buy cosmetic items if they introduce more of those into the game and leave crafting parts the way they are, or vice versa. I did mention that they may lower the requirements for certain milestones, but this is the least likely thing to be touched that I mentioned, as it doesn't entirely tie into player progression, but it is something several community members ask for in the forums. Why do I think things will essentially be easier for players to progress once the update goes live? Well, from an incumbent player's perspective, we want to be rewarded more often and in more lucrative ways for continuing to invest our time in the game. For new players, it won't be nearly as daunting to step into a game 4 months after its release if you know you can progress a little faster. Those concepts don't always coexist, as veterans often complain about how much time they put in and now someone can obtain the same amount of star cards in half the time, but honestly, EA has to be more concerned with getting new players to play, not retaining people who will clearly keep playing no matter what. Now perhaps they'll meet in the middle, and there will be greater rewards for those who finish at the top of the end of match leaderboards, which will favor the veteran players for a period of time. Overall, I am of the opinion that change is good when it comes to the player progression system, as it's a bit stale at the moment. While the client patches thus far have been nice, this one could end up being a make or break moment for the game, as success could mean a high level of retention plus a bevy of new players, while failure could put the nail in the coffin for a game that hasn't been well received in the media. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you've been enjoying my Battlefront 2 content, please like and subscribe. You can also interact with me on Twitter at TritonPlz and on Twitch streaming Battlefront 2 Tuesday night from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until the next video, may the Force be with you, and I hope you guys all have a great day.